Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for December the 12th, read by Kirsty S. from the East Midlands in the United Kingdom. AA Thoughts for the Day. Carrying the Message. Alcoholics simply will not listen to a paid 12th stepper. Almost from the beginning, we have been positive that face-to-face work with the alcoholic who suffers could be based only on the desire to help and be helped. When an AA talks for money, whether at a meeting or to a single newcomer, it can have a very bad effect on him too. The money motive compromises him in everything he says and does for his prospect. This has always been so obvious that only very few AAs have ever worked the 12th step for a fee. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 166. Thought to consider. There is no materialism in AA, just spirituality. Acronyms. ASAP. Always say a prayer. Just for today. Decline from to handle sobriety. So when my liver had recovered after 12 months, I resumed drinking. At first, just one drink on occasion. Then drinks came more frequently, but were carefully spaced out. Soon my drinking was as bad as ever, all day long, every day, but I was trying frantically to control it, and it had gone underground now because everyone knew I shouldn't be drinking. Instead of drinking in fancy bars and clubs, I had to carry a bottle of vodka in my briefcase, duck into public toilets and gulp from the bottle. 4th edition, Alcoholics Anonymous, page 556. Daily Reflections, a common solution. The tremendous fact for every one of us is that we have discovered a common solution. We have a way out on which we can absolutely agree and upon which we can join in brotherly and harmonious action. This is the great news this book carries to those who suffer from alcoholism. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 17. The most far-reaching 12-step work was the publication of our big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. Few can equal that book for carrying the message. My idea is to get out of myself and simply do what I can. Even if I haven't been asked to sponsor and my phone rarely rings, I am still able to do 12-step work. I get involved in brotherly and harmonious action. At meetings, I show up early to greet people and to help set up, and to share my experience, strength and hope. I also do what I can with service work. My higher power gives me exactly what he wants me to do at any given point in my recovery, and, if I let him, my willingness will bring 12-step work automatically. P.S. On this date in 1937, Bill W. met with trustees of the Rockefeller Foundation in an attempt to get money to support his new idea to cure drunks. Our co-founders were not the only ones divinely guided. John D. Rockefeller Jr. sent a representative, Frank Amos, to Akron to assess the new movement. Amos returned with a recommendation that $50,000 be granted the as yet unnamed organisation. But Rockefeller had the foresight to see that outside money would corrupt this fledgling fellowship. In February of 1938, he offered only $5,000, enough seed money to set up a small office and pay a secretary and postage to respond to mail queries. One of the reasons the big book was written was as a moneymaker to offset this disappointment. As Bill sees it, random quote, God-given instincts. Creation gave us instincts for a purpose. Without them, we wouldn't be complete human beings. If men and women didn't exert themselves to be secure in their persons, made no effort to harvest food or construct shelter, there would be no survival. If they didn't reproduce, the earth wouldn't be populated. If there were no social instinct, there would be no society. Yet these instincts, so necessary for our existence, often far exceed their proper functions. Powerfully, blindly, many times subtly, they drive us, dominate us, and insist upon ruling our lives. We tried to shape a sane ideal for our future sex life. We subjected each relation to this test. Was it selfish or not? We asked God to mould our ideals and help us to live up to them. We remembered always that our sex powers were God-given and therefore good, neither to be used lightly or selfishly, nor to be despised and loathed. 12 and 12, page 42. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 69. Big Book quote. We do not like to pronounce any individual as alcoholic, but you can quickly diagnose yourself. Step over to the nearest barroom and try some controlled drinking. Try to drink and stop abruptly. Try it more than once. It will not take you long to decide if you are honest with yourself about it. It may be worth a bad case of jitters if you get a full knowledge of your condition. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition. More about alcoholism, page 31. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. The clergy speak of the spiritual fellowship of the Church. This is much closer to the AA way than mere group therapy. Such a fellowship is based on a common belief in God and a common effort to live a spiritual life. We try to do this in AA. We also try to get down to the real problems in each other's lives. We try to open up to each other. We have a real desire to be of service to each other. We try to go deep down into the personal lives of our members. Do I appreciate the deep personal fellowship of AA? Meditation for the day. Love and fear cannot dwell together. By their very natures, they cannot exist side by side. Fear is a very strong force, and therefore a weak and vacillating love can soon be rooted by fear. But a strong love, a love that trusts in God, is sure eventually to conquer fear. The only sure way to dispel fear is to have the love of God more and more in your heart and soul. Prayer for the day. I pray that love will drive out the fear in my life. I pray that my fear will flee before the power of the love of God. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Centre City, MN 55012. My name is Kirsty, and I am an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.